today for the son of famed rapper and podcaster Gillie the King. Devin Spady was one of 3 people shot last week in the Olney section of Philadelphia. CBS News Philadelphia's Dan Snyder was inside the funeral today at the Met. He joins us now from there with more. Dan.
Natasha, hundreds of people filed into the Met behind me here just a few hours ago. And amid all that grieving, there was one pretty clear message from just about everybody we spoke with. Everyone needs to do more to end gun violence in the city. Gillie the King laying his oldest son, Devin Spady, to rest on Monday. Spady, who rapped under the name Young Cheese, was killed in a shooting at the corner of Masher and Nedrow last Thursday night.
This senseless act of violence, these acts of violence, these shootings, has to stop, man. What good is it?
Spady is one of 239 homicides counted by Philadelphia police this year, most killed through gun violence. Family friends say the loss hurts even more, knowing Gillie has long pushed people to choose a different path.
He always promoted a positive image and always talked about putting the guns down. So it's unfortunately that his son had to meet his demise this way.
Imam Tahir Wyatt made a point to address gun violence in his speech. He called on people at Monday's service to think before they act and to help those in need.
All of us know somebody. All of us know people who are this far away from revenge, from an endless cycle. But we have to be the ones to step up and be courageous.
Many family friends we spoke with believe losing a son to gun violence will motivate Gillie even more to stay active in his fight. But they also know he can't do it alone and say the community has to step up and take action.
I hope we go harder as a people to stop the violence. You know what I'm saying? We can't put all the weight on Gillie to stop the violence.
We have to stop. We have to make a concerted effort to come together to find solutions to the craziness that is plaguing our city.
Gillie the King did not speak publicly at today's services. Philadelphia police say so far no arrests have been made in Spady's death and that this is an ongoing investigation. In North
Philadelphia, you break my heart. Here you got a brother, Gillie from Philly, did it in the rap, didn't give up, stood in Philly, got one of the biggest podcasts present, $1 million worth of game. Wallo came out of jail. Wallo drops gems every day. They love Philly. I was just in Philly with Drama at the Roots picnic, and Gillie introduced me to every little young gangster from Philly backstage. Real deal, we trying to help him so he can change. You talk about an ambassador, the city of love. You talk about a guy who loves his community, then you kill his son. You leave little cheese on the street. Gillie's one of the only things, he's one of the only ones out there still showing his face in Philly, throwing Gillie Week or Gillie Day and helping the youth, helping the community. Wallo did all those years behind bars, so you don't do it. You kill his son. I don't know what the problem was. I do know they could have beat his son up. Could have beat him up. If he did something foul, the worst thing on earth, you could have beat him up. But no, that's Gillie's son. He's somebody. He's Gillie's son. Gillie, the famous guy. One of the only guys really popping out of Philly right now. Let's go. Let's take him off this earth.
Just such sad, devastating news. A father losing his son, a parent losing their child. Gillie the Kid, Gillie the King, mourning the loss of his son's death. Cheese out there in Philly. You see, a lot of family, friends, and MCs and different individuals from Philly speaking up, speaking out from the funeral services, saying Gillie and Wallo, these guys are just so positive and, have done so much to urge others to choose a different path in life as they grinded and pushed on, pushed hard to change their circumstances and leave the streets behind. As we know, Wallo did a long prison bid, and then every day with $1 million worth of game, and his social media network, like not just the podcast, his social network and different things he puts out there. We know Wallo and Gillie are both active in person, doing motivational speaking and doing different things in the community and whatnot. trying to show other individuals out there it's possible to leave the streets behind and prosper. And, now to see this happen, to see Gillie lose his son to the streets is just so sad. As you heard that other clip there, that was Fat Joe reacting to this terrible news and saying, "Philadelphia, you broke my heart." And almost in a sense sounding like he called out the city of Philadelphia. What did you guys think about what Fat Joe said there? As we see different things being shared as the investigation is still ongoing, and I didn't realize that the numbers of deaths in Philadelphia in the streets, gun violence, into 230 something gun related death in Philly. Very high numbers. I did not know this. What do you guys think about what Fat Joe said there, calling out Philly? You broke my heart, and his experiences, chilling. What did he say? He was at the Roots picnic. Some other legendary Philadelphia music artists, man. Being with Gillie and Wallo and meeting everyone. What do you guys think about what Joe said there? Do you think that was over the top, or do you think that was just on point what Joe was saying? He also spoke very highly of Gillie and Wallo. What he say? Wallo did that bid so everyone else doesn't have to, so he could share the message. And Gillie is Mr. Philadelphia, trying to do what he can to uplift his city and rep for his city. And then someone from his own city took his son's life. It's just so sad, man. Again, I've said in other instances where parents lose their child, and just referencing this situation, it's just the ultimate unorganic way of life, for a parent to bury a child. I just truly can't imagine, for those who have been in that situation or come close to losing a child or have lost a child. It's just terrible, man. So thoughts and prayers out to Gillie and his family. Jump in the comments, guys. What do you think about all this? Again, what do you think about what Fat Joe said to the city of Philadelphia? Let's discuss it in the comments. And subscribe, stay tuned for updates. As you heard on that news report, investigation is still ongoing. R.I.P. Cheese. Thoughts out to Gillie.